Hello everyone, Kiora. This presentation is about the digital transformation plan for Air New Zealand from 2026 to 2031. The main purpose is not to describe Air New Zealand. The main purpose is to explain where Air New Zealand currently stands on digital maturity world, what gaps still exist, and what practical actions the airline should take over the next 5 years. This plan is based on three main areas. First, public information about Air New Zealand. Second, findings from the digital maturity system. And third, from the Forrester digital maturity model. Before discussing the transformation plan, it is important to understand Air New Zealand's current position and challenges. So Air New Zealand is the national airline of New Zealand, serving both domestic and international passengers. The airlines is already using digital technologies such as self-service check-ins, mobile booking, AI chatbot supports, and automated rebooking systems. It is also investing in digital transformation through its partnership with Tata Consultancy Services, focusing on AI, cloud system automations, and data analytics. However, the airline is facing challenges like higher fuel cost, supply chain issues, and lower domestic demand. Because of this, digital transformation is important not only for innovation but also to improve customer service, reduce cost, and increase profitability. Now let's look at the purpose of the digital transformation plan. The purpose of the digital transformation plan is to turn ideas into action. The digital maturity assessment followed that Air New Zealand has a strong digital level, scoring 75 out of 100. This means the airlines already has good digital leadership, technology investment, and innovation. However, some areas still need improvement, especially data insights, digital skills, and cyber security. So this plan gives 5 key recommendations to help Air New Zealand improve these areas between 2026 to 2031. From the digital maturity assessment, 5 findings were identified. First, Air New Zealand has a strong digital goals, and leadership sees digital transformation as a business priority. Second, the airline is investing heavily in technology like AI, cloud systems, data analytics, mobile apps, and all these are supported by partners like TCS, Tata Consultancy Services. Third, the technology is more advanced than the organization's internal capabilities. The systems are strong, but staff skills, governance, and processes still needs improvement. Fourth, the airline has a lot of useful data from customers, loyalty members, mobile apps, booking systems, etc. But it is spread across the different systems and not fully connected. Fifth, the theme is external dependency. The airline relies heavily on vendors such as TCS, Microsoft, Accenture, and IBS software. These partners are useful, but too much dependency can become risky if Air New Zealand does not build enough internal digital capability. One strong example of success is the automated passenger rebooking system. This system resolves 86% of disruption cases within 2 minutes and reduce manual agent intervention from 70% to 18%. So overall, Air New Zealand should focus on better data connection, strong staff capability, improved governance, more AI use, and stronger cyber security.
For the analysis, we use Forrester Digital Maturity Model 4.0 as the main framework. The model is evaluate digital maturity across the 4 dimensions: cultural, organization, technology, and insight. Based on the assessment, Air New Zealand is a position between collaborator and differentiator stages, with an overall score approximately 3.9 out of 5. Overall, Air New Zealand demonstrates strong digital capabilities, particularly in culture and technology. However, some gaps still exist in organization and insight, especially around the governance, cross-functional alignment, and some integration data across the business. Now, I will explain each dimension in more detail. For the first one is the culture. The culture dimension is one of the Air New Zealand's strongest area. The score is 4.1 out of 5, which is the place it at the differentiator level. This means Air New Zealand has a strong digital mindset at the leadership level. Digital transformation is clearly part of the airline strategy. For example, the CEO has a digital background, and the company has a history of innovation with digital and technology. However, there is several gaps for the company. For example, some legacy area in maintenance, cargo, ground operation may not be equally digitally mature. So the cultural challenge is to make sure digital thinking reaches every part of the organization and not just the digital team. The second dimension is organization. The organization dimension is score 3.9 out of 5. This is strong, but it sits between collaboration and differentiator. Air New Zealand has several advantages of this organization. The first one, they also have a chief digital officer, specialist digital teams, and strong vendor partnership. But DMI found gaps in program management, governance, and internal capability. The key issue here is repeatability. If every digital project is managed differently, it becomes harder to scale transformation into across the company. Air New Zealand needs clearly governance, common delivery methods, and stronger internal ownership. So, the organization dimension shows the Air New Zealand has the right direction, but needs more stronger structure. For the third dimension is technology. Technology of Air New Zealand score is 4 out of 5, which is also the differentiator level. This is because the airline has invested a lot of money into a cloud system, AI, market architecture, and automation, and technology modern of digital platform. For example, they also collaborate with TCS partnership covering more than 600 applications that support technology modernization of the Air New Zealand. However, technology gap is about control and integration. When an airline has hundreds of applications and several vendors, it can face risks such as technical debt, inconsistent data standard, and system fragmentation. So, technology invest must be supported by better governance and architecture control. The fourth dimension is insight, and this is the weakest Forrester area of Air New Zealand. The score is 3.6 out of 5, which is the place its collaborator level. This doesn't mean Air New Zealand has no data. In fact, they has a lot of valuable data. The problem is that the data is not yet fully connected across the organization. For example, customer data from Kauri, app usage, chatbot interaction, booking system, and contact center could be used together to generalize and personalize customer experience. From the employee side, the operational data can be useful too. For example, in the maintenance, crew, cargo, flight description could also be used together for better decision making. So, the biggest opportunity is to move from having data into using data properly across the whole business.
The most significant part of this digital transformation is the recommendations, which can be implemented in this period of digital transformation. So, our first recommendation is about bringing all your New Zealand customer data in one place. What's called a unified customer data platform or CDP. Right now, data is coming from all sorts of places: the Kauri loyalty program, the app, the website, Oscar the chatbot, the contact center, the lounges, cargo retail partners. The problem is none of that really talking to each other. And the Kauri relaunch gives Air New Zealand a genuinely valuable first-party data asset, but without a unified platform, a lot of that value gets left on the table. In terms of how to get there, start with data audit, pick up right CDP vendor, then bring the Kauri, the app, Oscar chatbot, booking data first, cargo, lounge, partner data can be followed later. The metrics to track here would be things like ancillary revenue per passenger, Kauri engagement, personalized over conversion rate, and NPS on digital transformation. The second recommendation is about governance, and I know that word that sounds a little dry, but bear with me because this one is really foundational. The DMA flagged governance as a weaker area. Air New Zealand has a genuine digital ambition, but ambition without a structure tend to lead to duplicated projects, unclear ownerships, especially when you are managing a large application portfolio and major vendor relationships. What we are proposing come down to 4 things: a program office that can lead the transformation, the investment committee to make sure that the right project get funded, steering committee at the business unit level so every part of the business has clear ownership and accountability, and the standard playbook so every digital program follow the same rules. The practical outcome will be better investment decision, less wasted effort and clear accountability. The plan would be to appoint a digital director of transformation in 2026, build the government charter and get the playbook in place. By 2027, every active digital platform should be running through the same system. And how do we know it's working? Simple thing. Honestly, the project landing on time, the teams actually using the playbook, or it is just sitting in the shared drive. Is the investment committee using the way it's meant to be? Before decisions are made, not after. Third recommendation, build internal capability through an Air New Zealand Digital Skill Academy, which relates to Air New Zealand learning culture. Right now, when Air New Zealand needs to digital specialist, the answer is usually bring one from outside. Recommendation 3 is about changing that by building a digital skill academy from within. The DMA showed a real skill gap, but right now the airline leans heavily on external vendor to fill it. But that's not sustainable for a long-term transformation. The goal here is to build digital confidence from within. The academy would have a digital foundation track for everyone covering AI literacy, data ethics, cyber security basics, and agile ways of working. To make it work in practice, you could partner with New Zealand universities, plug into the existing TCS upskilling program and introduce something like digital skill passport so individual can track their own progress over time. The payoff is less vendor dependency, stronger internal innovation, and the workforce that can actually drive transformation rather than just follow it. Recommendation 4 is where operation and AI really come together, and AI Power Integrated Operations Center or IOC. The idea is single real-time command platform that can connect flight operation, crew scheduling, maintenance, disruption management, cargo, customer comments, and fuel efficiency data, all it in one place. And here is the thing, Air New Zealand already has proved his work. The automated rebooking system is already delivering a strong result for passenger disruptions. So the question is, if AI can do that for passenger, why can't it do that for the same maintenance planning, crew rostering, cargo optimization and fuel efficiency? It can. It would measure impact through on-time performance, reduction in unscheduled maintenance, disruption solutions, and fuel cost per available seat per kilometer. And the 5th recommendation is cybersecurity, which has to be treated as a business priority, not just technical one. As Air New Zealand becomes more digital, more data-rich, more connected with the vendors and partners, the attack surface grows. A major cyber incident doesn't just create technical problems, it does it customer trust, disrupt operation, and can take long time to recover. The program we are recommending include a formal cyber security risks framework, continuous monitoring across critical systems, annual third-party audit, cyber security training for all staff, and 24/7 security operations center. After implementing, the success look like audit implementation, training rates, fast incident response time, critical findings remediate within 90 days, and ultimately zero major incidents affecting customer data. Air New Zealand already has a strong digital foundation, but to genuinely lead by 2031, the next step isn't just more technology investment. It's about using data smarter, governing transformation more effectively, building skill from within, running operation with AI, and making security a strategic priority. These 5 recommendations taken together address customer experience, cost efficiency, internal capability, long-term resilience. That's what sustainable digital transformation or leadership look like. Thank you.